outs.
No fade outs. But big shout out to the big little little big Adrian for the beat, because that's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe.
I asked him for like one of my favorite rappers is Joey Badass, and I asked him for that type of beat, and he delivered. So
he did not disappoint. But thank you for tuning back in. We had to do a take 2, but it's all good.
Neilani wasn't letting us win.
She wasn't letting us be great at all whatsoever. But we yeah, I did. But we back. You probably hear her in the background, but it's all good. We just want to go ahead and get in where we fit in. So Blaklvoe. We back.
Celebrating volume 11 of this beautiful union, this partnership.
That's crazy.
I don't even want to say marriage because it's more than a marriage. You feel me? It's a whole empire right here.
Facts.
A whole dynasty over here. You feel me?
Facts. I just it's still, I don't know. Like, I've been really thinking about this all week. 11 years.
11 years. 11 is
what did it say?
Is the number, the mastery. Is the number correlating to mastery. And karma.
What you think that karma situation is about, though?
I think karma gets too much of a negative annotation.
Think?
Yes, because karma is simply stating whatever you put out is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
So it can work negatively in the sense of what you put out, as far as negative vibes, lying, cheating, all that stuff you get back. But karma also works on the positive end. So if you put out love for self, love for humanity, love just in general, you're going to get those vibrations back.
Right. It did mention that too in the little thing that I read.
So yeah, 11 years.
Still trying to figure out where the time went. I mean, but all our whole 20s, we've been together our entire 20s, so we basically grew up. We grew up together.
A whole decade.
A whole decade. That is bananas. We were engaged at 19.
Yeah, we met. I think we met.
We met around that 18, 19.
2008. February 2008. No, January. We met January of 2008 because it was winter quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, Wright State headquarters.
Right.
Not semesters,
that
quarters.
Tells you how long ago that was. Quarters.
So that, So we were 19. Well, turning 19. We're 18 when we met. You turned 19 in March. I turned 19 in May.
Yeah.
And then we started dating February of 2008. Yeah. And then engaged
by February the next year.
By February 2009. Married by November 2009.
Yeah, same year.
First child. December 2010.
What was I saying? March.
I don't know why you were saying March. I believe I was definitely born in December.
Oh, I know why I was saying March, because that's when we found out. It was in March. It was right around my 21st birthday.
Did we find out then?
Yeah.
Or did we do the math and figure that we conceived then?
Okay, that was too much. But no, we found out. I remember specifically 21 because I remember I was glad I wasn't out drinking all crazy. Because it was we literally found out within days of that.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, so the biggest thing. So what we aim to do with Blaklvoe.
First, make sure you like and share. Make sure you comment, because this is a dialogue, not just a video of us talking to you or you. So make sure you comment, share, like, and definitely give us some likes, some hearts for hearts for 11 years of holy matrimony.
Holy?
It ain't. Well, yeah, it's always been holy. Never mind.
Right, dude.
Yeah, definitely like and share. And I was about to ask you if you shared too.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I try to tag you in it for Facebook reasons and stuff. So hopefully it works.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Hopefully, we shall see.
So yeah, so we wanted to kind of kick this video off, basically our love story, how we came to be Corey and Dorian Smith, Blacksmith, the legacy, the dynasty, the empire.
Really big shout out to Derek Moore, because we just got to go ahead and say.
I thought you said we wasn't gonna say no names.
Oh, we weren't. We can say Derek's name because he goes.
What's good? What's good, JT? So. Good to see you on here. So yeah, we're celebrating 11 years of marriage. We're about to get into our love story, how it came to be. And then, so yeah, shouts out to Derek Moore with the hookup.
Because it was Derek, really. And then after we kind of go through this part, we're gonna talk about 11 things we learned. Is that what it is?
Yeah, 11 things we learned.
11 things we learned. So real quick, so we're gonna breeze through this part super quick. So, I was okay.
I guess the story. Okay, I guess the story begins with me. I guess the story begins with me. So, so when I was a youngster,
What's up, boo?
hey. So, 2007. I was in. Well, we both graduated 2007 from high school. 7. So most people started their college career. Not most people. Most people that graduated in 2007 started their college career, of course, in the fall. Me, however, I went to the Air Force. So during the fall quarter at Wright State, we were on quarters. I was at
quarters.
Yeah, we was on quarters, not semesters. Quarters. I was at basic training for the military. So I got out in time for hold on.
Okay, he over here fooling. So you got out.
So I got out in time to get registered for Wright State for the winter quarter, not semester, quarter. So 2008 was when I started my college career. So they booked me up in a room, and my roommate happened to be Derek Moore. We wasn't gonna say no names, but now she done said the name, so we just gonna say names.
Well, that's the only name we saying.
All right. So yeah, we became roommates. So I got a car. We're roommates. Derek needs a ride home to Middletown, Ohio,
which is my hometown.
So I guess you can kind of step in a little bit.
Yeah.
Explain your relationship with Derek.
Well, me and Derek, we were like, it was only 3 of us. It was me, it was Derek, and it was our other friend, Grace. I'm going to say that name. And then, like, we were like the 3 amigos. That's the only 2 names I'm saying. But for real, we were like super, like, that was the clique, basically. So I mean, that was the homie. He was up at Wright State. I was at Miami University at the time.
So you were still living at home.
But I was still living at home because I hadn't transitioned to the main campus yet. That first semester, I stayed at the local campus in my hometown, and I was due to transfer like that winter quarter. Actually, I was in the process of getting all that together. So yeah, I was supposed to be at the main campus that winter, but that fateful day of January where Derek needed a ride.
So Derek was like, I need to get home. I got a car. I was like, shoot, I'll take you. I ain't got nothing else to do. So let's go. He's like, all right, we're going to ride by my best friend's house, Dory. I was like, all right, cool. She looked good. Nah. So
ignorance.
So we pull up to Dory's house across the street, and she walked down the steps, and I was like, that's my wife. That's my wife.
You didn't ask. I still don't believe this story.
That's my girl right there. I ain't say wife, but I was like, yeah, that's gonna be me. That's all me. So she came up and she was like, hey.
Okay, first off, when you ever heard me sound like that?
You was trying to.
I'm gonna tell you what year this was, y'all. This was the year of those fitted, the one hats with the brim on it.
Oh, you're not going. She gonna try to clown
You know what
what
I'm
I
talking
was
about?
wearing.
The turban hats. You know
The turbans with
the turbans
the
with the
beanies
brim,
with the brim.
the beanies with the brim. That was this season.
Yeah, I was rocking one of those.
He had
and I had the brim like sideways.
But he had it turned like so.
Thought I was cool. It was
we gonna put that out there. That's what we was dealing with. But nonetheless, then that basically kind of we started off.
Well, I found out she had a boyfriend.
Wasn't really like a boyfriend.
She made me believe that it was a full-out boyfriend. So I found out she had a boyfriend, and I was still like, that's still me. That's still all me.
Yeah, he was very persistent.
So I would do little like we get together a couple of times. I was down there. So I was down there every weekend. Every weekend after I see her.
He was.
And we'd be like chilling. We'd be playing like Family Feud or something like that. And I like sit extra close. Try to like rub my elbow along there and stuff like that. How you doing? You good today? You good today?
He's not kidding. He's not lying right now. It literally would be that. I'll be like,
I'd be like doing stuff like,
why is he so close?
Like this.
And I'll be like, hi.
No, she wasn't. She was trying to play hard to get, but she wasn't like that.
I wouldn't like.
Because I wouldn't have been pressing.
Like,
if she would have been like, "Hey, we not on that," then I wouldn't have been on that. But she didn't, so I kept on doing.
Because you did it, but it would be like it wasn't like it wasn't crazy. I don't know how to explain it. It was just kind of like playful. So you just kind of was like, you know.
But long story short, this ain't really a short story, but
right. But
I kept on making my stance known that I wanted to be with her, and I was also talking to other people that shall not be named that Dory don't really care for.
Dang.
And she made it clear that wasn't gonna happen either. Because let me tell y'all, when I planned on going into college, like it wasn't gonna be like one chick settle down, like we gonna be in a whole relationship. It was let me get my fun in. These are the glory days. Let's get it.
These are the glory days.
But Dory was basically like, if you're gonna be with me, you're gonna be with me. So, and I'm not the person.
I don't even think that wasn't like unspoken though with both.
It was unspoken, yeah.
Because I had some people I was talking to too, you know.
Word.
Player. Don't show all your cards, you know what I'm saying?
Roddy said gang. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are the only one. I just, you know.
But anyways, she made it clear
don't play.
without words that it wasn't going down like that. When she found out that I was talking to a couple other people, but basically we was hanging out tough, like every weekend, hanging out tough, and then Valentine's Day came up, and I was like, well, I do really like her, but we ain't through no titles or nothing on this. I think she still got a man. Oh, in between this, Grace and Derek, the people that wasn't supposed to be named that are now named, Grace and Derek, they would be doing stuff like making playlists of songs that was all like the "I'ma steal you from your man" type songs.
Like Jagged Edge, He Can't Love You Like I Love You. So they be playing us like this. Yeah.
While we caking on the phone.
Like, yeah.
I don't know if y'all know caking. Caking is like a Louisville term, but it's like talking all hours of the night, being booed up. But yeah, caking all the time.
Statement. I was a player. I had a ringtone for each person, so that's how I knew. That's how you know. I can't remember. Yours was.
That was back when people actually had ringtones.
Right. We really dated.
Now you just got the iPhone ringtone.
Dang it! I think it was that. I can't remember. I'm mixing up two songs. I mean, let me think on that. I'm gonna get back to that.
You know what mine was?
What?
It was a. Was it a Maxwell song? No, it was
No.
Kenny Lattimore.
No, it was like I feel like it was Alicia Keys.
Mine for you?
Oh no, I was talking about me.
Mine for you was like a Kenny Lattimore song. I think.
Well, needless to say, we kind of like got together then, and then.
Thank you, Khadijah. We just being us. This is 24/7.
And then it was a year later, and then that next Valentine's Day, you proposed.
Well, we gotta kick it to this Valentine's Day, the Valentine's Day that we met. I mean, after because that was a significant Valentine's Day. So basically, I didn't know whether we was, whether we was just cool, we was kicking it as friends, we was gonna be dating, or what. So I'm like, well, if I want to make my position clear, then I better get her something for Valentine's Day. So I was like,
Are
Derek.
you paying attention? It's like I'm.
I was like, Derek, what is she like? And he's like,
he not know. That's a whole nother.
I think he didn't want us to really be together. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I know he helped me because we went to the mall together. We went to North Fairfield Commons, and we was walking around. I was trying to figure out. So I won't throw that shade on him. Derek was down. Yeah, clear. I had to make it clear. What they say, write the vision, make it plain. Oh, so I was going through the mall. I don't know what to get her because I don't want to get nothing that's like I'm sprung, but I don't want to get nothing that's like, oh, you whack. So I got her. It was the Beyonce perfume that just came out.
Yeah.
And it was like a whole
holiday
Valentine's Day set.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
I remember. And then the card.
Yep, and I got you a card that sung.
It was the Beatles. I remember it. Matter of fact, it said it was the card. It was the Beatles, and it saying like all you need is love. And he wrote instead of
sounds fun from the jump. But I was trying to show that I wasn't.
But look, I gotta tell them what you wrote in the card. You said just replace love, and you put the X, and you said your name. Like all you need is
that's what I said.
You put the X, and you put your name.
All you need is Corey. All you need is Corey.
That's what he put in the card.
Because the love, we wasn't even dating, so I didn't want to throw the love out there.
So he X'd it out, and it was his name, and then the card was singing, "All you need is love, 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 love is all you need." But that's what the card said.
So I got her that, and then Grace and Derek, of course, hype over all that. And they like, so what y'all doing? And we riding in my, what was that, a 96 Mazda Protege, like my bucket. Like
the Lord's has been good.
Oh my gosh.
The Lord's has been good. That was a
bucket. Needed a tune up and everything. Sometimes it wouldn't start.
Bless that baby.
Took it to a couple of backyard mechanics in Middletown.
That's comedy.
Yeah. But yeah, so they was like, so what y'all doing? And she was always in the front seat. She was always in the front seat of my Mazda. Derek and Grace was in the back. And I was like, so, I mean, what it is? And she was like, she didn't even say nothing. She was like, I guess.
Wait a minute.
Like, what?
What is this perceived voice that you hear when I talk?
Because you was trying to be real soft-spoken when we started.
And that's how you hear me. I can't. That's not how I sound. I can't with this voice. I guess.
So I guess we started dating that Valentine's Day of 2008.
Too much.
2009, same day Valentine's, I proposed. And what, 9 months later?
Yeah.
We were married. And
we didn't have a big wedding or anything.
No, it was just me and her. Pastor Pendleton. Word out to Pastor Pendleton. He's the realest. And Adrian was our witness, my uncle. Adrian. Shout out to Adrian again. He came through on the beat. He came through as a witness. Yeah. Without his witnessing, nobody would be able to say that we were married. So
that's it.
It is what it is.
Right there.
And I got it tatted. So just know
I ain't got mine yet.
It ain't never gonna Like that's November 24th. That's what it is. Boom.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how we came to be Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Blacksmith Empire.
Yeah. Then Levi came. And after Levi came Eden.
Yeah, so 2009, November 2009, we got married. December 2010, Levi was born. Levi Emmanuel, united as one. God is with us. We say he's the one that really brought the two sides of our family together. Cause yeah, that's what really did it. And then 2 years later, you had Eden and I, Beautiful Paradise. And then 4 years later, was it 4? 2010, 2012, 2014. No, 2 years later from there, we had Zion Solomon, Highest Point of Peace. And then we was trying for a girl. We was really trying. We was really trying. So 4 years later, 2018, we finally got Nailani DeAnnalise. Nailani is the calming of the heavens, or the silence of the heavens. So, yeah. 11 years, 4 kids, here we stand. And it's been a beautiful ride. So the next thing we're going to get into, now that we've told you our beautiful love story, and our beautiful daughter is fussing because she needs to be asleep, and she don't want to sit still. But we was going to get into 11 things that we learned, celebrate our 11 years, 11 things that we learned on this journey together. Journey together. Y'all gotta forgive me. My mouth is like not cooperating with me today. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Love you too. So do you want to start or you want me to start?
I feel like I'm not.
You're not in frame, but we don't want y'all to see our hallway, so we're gonna bring it back here.
The
we
laundry of
laundry back
That's
there.
the laundry.
You don't want to see all the laundry that we got stacked up over there.
We had to get the little person. She wouldn't go.
You might as well come up so we can
come up and we can see you. Woo! Say hi.
Say hi, Nana.
Say hi. Hi. Say hello.
Here, I'll scoot more this way. Bring you over her.
And then I can scoot there.
Bam.
There we go.
So did you want to start? You want me to start?
I think my point was first.
Uh-oh.
All right, so did you already explained that part, right?
Yes, we're about to get into the 11 things that we've learned on this beautiful journey that we have taken to this point.
All right, so number 1 is, and I think this is a big one. So the first thing that I learned was that I can't rely on you to make me happy.
Facts. And
I think I can say for like the first year or two, like I didn't have that thought or mindset. So Mommy. It was like, I think sometimes we come in a relationship and we feel like it's the other person's job to like make sure that you're happy and that they're doing things to, keep you, I don't want to say entertained, but just really make you feel good and keep you happy all the time. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until about around that 5-year mark that I'm like, oh,
year 6. It was definitely
year 6 was like the big one. And it was just like I realized like that's not his responsibility. And it's not fair for me to make that his responsibility. Like I have to be happy because I'm happy, and I have to know what makes me happy and how to do that. And I have to fulfill that for myself. And really, ultimately, God has to fill that void. Like that's not his job or responsibility. So that's the first thing that I learned.
And I think it's important to know that like if you're not happy, then it's your job to get yourself into that state. Like, so I think, where did we grab? It was Will and Jada, wasn't it?
Probably.
Will and Jada, we like watching them before all the entanglements and stuff. Nah, we still watch them. They still are full of wisdom for real. But that's where that came from, because once we heard that, it's like a light bulb. Like you can't make me happy. If I'm unhappy, I'm just gonna be unhappy. That's my choice. So I can't depend on you to do something that's gonna like. Now I can. I don't know how I even want to say it.
You can do things that bring each other joy.
Yeah,
but
that's
at the
what
end
it
of the day, if whatever reason we couldn't be no more,
mm-hmm.
if you gone, then where does that leave me? If I've always only relied on you and what you do to make me happy,
right.
it's just not gonna work.
Exactly. So number 2, I think that was one of the points that I brought up was number 2. And she over here wilding, y'all. She over here wilding.
Yeah.
But number 2, so 11 lessons. Number 2 was make time for yourself.
Okay,
we are still individuals with independent needs. So I think this kind of ties into number 1, because if you have to understand, like, okay, so the first like 2-3 years of our marriage, and even when we were like dating and stuff, it was like, we got to be together. We got to be together. We doing this together. We doing that together. We doing this together. But you kind of start to lose your own identity because you have the identity of us instead of Dory and Corey. So I think it's important, even in the early stages, to make time for yourself, to still have those things that bring you joy, so you don't lose your identity in the marriage or in the union. Because you can still, I mean, the 2 individuals is what makes the marriage stronger.
Right.
When you have a rope, it's not just one string. It's 2 individual strings or 3 individual strings, sometimes 5 or whatever. But the fact is that there's individual strings that are woven together that make it strong.
Yeah.
So you have to keep your identity. You have to make time for yourself in order to keep your joy, to keep your happiness, and to be able to impart that joy into your partner.
Yeah. You got to fill your cup. Your cup has to be full, and the overflow has to go from everybody else. If you're not good, if you aren't good, you can't be good for everyone else in the picture. And that was another important thing that I had to learn. Like, you have to take that time to just learn you and learn who you are. And I think that's probably why, like, that year 5 and 6 was, well, I wouldn't say it wasn't bad. It was just like the learning curve, I feel like, in our marriage, where we were like really learning who we each were. Because like we said, we had our whole 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Which is one of the times where people are really building their identity, period. Right. Is in their 20s. Like, you don't really know yourself in high school. Like, in high school, half the time you trying to be what everybody else is, or live up to popularity, or
your parents,
your parents' expectations and your friends' expectations, all of that. So when you enter your 20s, it's kind of like a real learning of yourself, and even more in the 30s, because I'm learning myself even more now that I done hopped over into 30. But
30s is where it's at.
I thought I knew myself by 29, and then 30 came along, and I was like, well, got some more work to do. Right. So, yeah, you want to do the next point, or you want to keep on switching back in?
Well, 3 was yours.
Well, it don't matter. I mean, we can.
Oh, I can say it, and you can elaborate. Love is not a feeling or emotion. It is a being. You have to choose to be it every day.
Facts. That's wisdom right there. Whoever said that, whoever wrote that down, that's wisdom. Nah. But yeah, so love is not a feeling or an emotion. Love is it's a being. You have to be it. It's action. It's like the things before. It's a learning of self in order to be able to give to someone else. I always use the term God substance, because it's it's one of the most powerful things that we have in this realm, in this the atmosphere that we are in is love. So instead of seeing it or viewing it as an emotion or a feeling, you have to view it as a being, and you have to choose it every day. I have to choose to love my wife every day, because if it was a feeling or emotion, it would just come and go with the wind. Anytime she pissed me off, I'd be like, all right, that's it. But when you choose love, even when you piss me off, even when I get a little upset, I still love you because I'm choosing you. I'm not choosing what you're doing to me. I'm not choosing what I think you're attacking me with or whatever it may be. I'm choosing you. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I go out of order?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the next one, I'm out of order a little bit of from our list, but because you said that one, then I think it's important to do this one next. That it's best to truly be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like really learn how to be friends and not just lovers or partners or whatever you want to call it. And the reason why is because just what you just said. Like you have to choose love, but then also there's times where you're just not in love at the moment, you know, like, but because you're friends, like you truly have a friendship, you're able to stand on that friendship until you find the love again. Yeah. And it just makes for a better relationship. Like it just makes it dope when you can really just laugh like as friends and you get each other and like you just mesh.
And I think that's why it's like you choose your friends, so you choose to be around them, and it's like almost nothing that you cannot come back from as friends. And I think that's the same in marriage. Like there's nothing that I feel like there's nothing that we can't come back from. As far as disagreements or whatever, what have you. So friendship is, I mean, I think that's the secret of why, not secret, but that's part of the reason why we were able to marry young and still be a thing to this day, 11 years later, is because it seems like it was an accelerated process to everybody that was on the outside looking in, like y'all 20 and y'all getting married, what? But they didn't see the friendship that we built, not on the physical, not on just intimacy, but the friendship that we built with each other in that short period of time, like what, almost 2 years before we actually got married. So yeah. So it is very important to develop a friendship going in. That's a huge lesson. Yeah.
Because I can really say, like, you for real, that's you, my best friend. Like, really. Like, that's the homie.
That's the homie.
That's the homie.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
All right, we're gonna go back up. Blah, 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 blah. We're gonna go back up to 4.
Yeah.
So this is number 4, but it's actually the 5th one that we're saying.
Sorry.
So the focus can't be on trying to fix you. I have to concentrate on myself. Focus can't be on fixing the other person. You definitely have to concentrate on fixing you.
Yeah. So this came out of learning how not to be like, if you do this, if you do that, if you do this, if you do that, then everything will be okay, or this will change, or da-da-da-da. But learning how to say, okay, maybe I don't like that about you, or I don't like that thing, but if I focus on what's my contribution and like, let me just make myself better. And even maybe taking some of the things that you may say that I need to work on and then just focus on fixing that, then it's just this crazy thing of in the end, the thing that you really the thing that you was like really wanting to work on, it just works itself out. But it's just like you can't focus on the other finger, pointing the finger so much. It's just the concentration and the focus on making you better. It makes the relationship better.
I think self-growth, period, is the key to building any relationship. When both of the people are working on self, then naturally the things or flaws that we see in each other, stated or otherwise, will start to diminish. Because I don't want to say clouded, but that's the only word that comes to mind right now. Those negative things are clouded by the effort that the person is making to become a better person. B Nesby. B Nesby on here, brother. What's good? Yep, 11 years together. Oh, what did I just do? Hold on. We coming back. Hold on.
No, here.
Oh. There we go.
He hitting
Sorry,
buttons. He
I'm
don't know what
hitting
he
buttons.
doing.
I got excited. Bro was on the live. I got excited.
He just slid the screen all off.
Thank you. But yeah, focus on fixing you instead of concentrating your efforts to fixing the other person.
Because here's the other thing too about that. Like, and this is what I'm realizing, like, not even just like in intimate relationships, but just all around. I'm noticing that, like, you know how like you notice stuff about other people that you be like, ugh, like she just got the nastiest attitude of like, oh, that just get on my nerves. Like, you pinpoint stuff about other people. Half the time, the stuff that you be pinpointing be stuff that you do. Like, you recognize, like you recognize stuff that other people do because you do it too. So it's like you know what I'm saying? You pick up on it more.
Mm-hmm.
But normally it be, if you really like be honest with yourself, you be doing the same. Right. You do the same thing too. Right. So like, that's why if you always focus on fixing yourself versus then pointing the other finger and saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because if you spending so much time focusing on you, you ain't got time to have energy to be trying to tell the other person what they're doing wrong.
Ooh, there's a scripture for that. I pull out my Bible and it says somewhere, I don't know the scripture, I don't know the chapter, I don't know the verse, but it says before you try to get the mote out of your brother's eye, or no, the speck out of your brother's eye, you need to focus on the mote that's in your eye.
Okay.
So that's some self-evaluation for you.
Right.
So let's recap the
I didn't did it too.
I got it right here.
Okay.
So let's recap since we had I think we're at number 6. The first one that we said was you can't rely on your partner to make you happy. That's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Number 2, make time for yourself. We are still individuals with independent needs. So you have to have your own identity in any relationship. Your identity cannot be the relationship. The Smiths is not, no, it's Corey and Dory Smith. Now the empire is Black Smith, but we are still individuals with individual needs, individual interests, and all of that. Number 3, love is not a feeling or emotion. It is a being. You have to choose to be it every day. You have to choose love. You have to choose love every day. It's not something that flies by night. It can't come and go with the wind. When you get mad, when you are frustrated, angry, it has to be something that you choose to be at all times.
Choose it at all times.
And then number 4,
it was being friends.
It's best to truly be friends. In any relationship, it's best to truly be friends. Learn each other on that level and beyond the intimacy and physical.
Yep.
And then number 5 was the focus can't be on trying to fix your partner. You have to concentrate on fixing yourself.
Yep. That's it.
That's self-explanatory.
That's it.
And then number 6 was hold on. No, we ain't do that one yet.
No.
That was number 6.
Yeah, we on 7.
All right, bet. So now we on number 7. Number 7 of our 11 lessons in these 11 years, this journey, this beautiful, beautiful road that we have come down.
The
yellow big road. Ease on down. Nah. You got to be mindful of each other's love language. Try your best.
Oh, that was me. That was mine.
Why don't you expound on the love languages?
Okay, because each person has a love language, and there's 4 of them: physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, quality time. I think that's it. I might be missing one, but like everyone has a love language, and you gonna sing?
You say hi.
You gonna say hi?
Okay, you gonna fall though.
She's on 10. I don't know why she just won't go to sleep. Everyone else is asleep. But guess who's up? That one. So, it's because she's spoiled, y'all. She wants to go to sleep when we go to sleep. She's trying to get into bed with us. That's what that is. Yeah. All right. So sorry. So everyone has a love language, and the thing about the love language is when the other person is operating in their love language, it makes the other person feel love. Like it's basically a way to like say I love you without saying I love you. It just confirms and reaffirms the other person. So it's best to be aware of what makes your partner feel love and what fuels them, because that's what it does too. It fuels them. So like when we hit core, we are two opposites. My love language is it was one I was missing. Acts of service. Mine is number one. It's acts of service, which means for me, it's not about like what you buy. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. Like your actions speak more to me than anything else, right? My very last one is physical touch. Like I could do without it.
My first one is physical touch.
His number one is physical touch.
And for all y'all nasties, it ain't that. It ain't that. I like touching.
He likes cuddling and stuff. Me,
I like that.
Not
I like
a color.
kisses in the middle of the day.
That's just not me. I'm like, what's up? How you doing? Love you. That's me.
I like hugs. I like hugs and kisses.
There you go.
So yeah, you know what your partner know their love language. Know what their form of love is. Their form of expression, their form of receiving of love.
And then you have to work at it, because I literally have to be mindful that that's his love language. Because for me, I'm like, ugh. So I have to.
Choosing.
Yeah, I have to choose it, and I have to be mindful of the moments where that's important for him, and vice versa, too. Yep. So
I gotta be mindful that she don't always like to be touched and cuddled and stuff, and I have to refrain from it sometimes when I really want to.
Why are you making that?
I really want to
face.
Oh, my baby.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. You got something to say? Talk to the people.
You got chocolate milk on your mouth. You got chocolate milk. Where your cup?
Talk to the people. She drunk it up.
You drunk your chocolate milk? Yeah. Don't do that.
That's what happens when you got 3 older brothers.
Yeah.
You just try to burp and flatulence and all that.
We're working on that.
I can't even say the word.
Flatulence.
Yeah, there you go. Alright. So what we on? We on number we on number 8. Number 8.
Yes.
Growth is constant. I mean, that's self-explanatory, but I think going into marriage, there was thinking in my mind that you reach this point where like it's a happily ever after, but it's not. Like once you get to a level of where you understand one aspect of your marriage, you evolve as a person. Each person evolves, so it's like a whole new learning. So like even now, reaching 11 years, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I just heard this by Will Smith interview about Janet and all that stuff that went on with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he brought up something that love, L-U-V, listening, understanding, and validating. And that's in any relationship. But I'm like, I could do more of that. Like, that's what I want to work on in this next chapter of our relationship, of our, I hate the word marriage, but like our partnership. Like, this is an empire. I'm telling y'all, Blacksmith is an empire. That's what this marriage is called, Blacksmith, an empire. But like, that's what I want to work on. I want to work on listening more, understanding more, and validating those things that I agree with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think sometimes we can
Oh, my bad. I ran off on that one. That one was yours.
No, that was yours.
Oh,
That was yours. That was yours.
Okay.
No, sometimes I think inadvertently can dismiss or devalue the other's experience, regardless if it's how we view it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So to validate and to agree on the parts that you agree to, that's like the ultimate form of appreciation and a validation that you can give a person.
Facts.
So, and I think that's one of the things you have to learn in relationship is that you're going to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see things, all the same all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're able to just kind of understand where that person's coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It goes
and
to
listening without being defensive and like just listening to be like, I'm ready to make my comeback. Like I have to be honest. Like I'm like learning that and been in that process of learning how to listen without already formulating my response, but like fully listening to everything,
mm-hmm.
then giving the pause.
Yeah.
Because that's the part we be missing too. Is like we listen and be like, but like to give that pause and really like take it in.
Mm-hmm. Two things. That's what I tell the kids all the time. Is like, you can't be listening if like the person is talking, and one, you start talking before they finish, or two, as soon as they finish, you start talking.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't have been listening. You were just waiting on what you wanted to say, and when you got the opportunity to say it, you just blurted it out. So I tell them like the most important part of conversation is actually listening. It's not the talking. It's not speaking with eloquence. It's listening to what the other person is saying, understanding where they're coming from. I think that's the part of disagreements that we get. Is half the time when people are yelling at each other, they're not listening to what the other person's saying. Half the time they're saying the same exact thing. And that's what I had to tell the kids earlier today. They arguing over something and they literally saying the same exact thing in two different ways. And neither one of them are listening to each other, so they can't comprehend or understand that the other person is really on their side. Like
what's how the saying go? You can't spot the fool in an argument or something like that. Yeah. Like everybody look a fool because you're just all doing that. Right.
Yeah. And the second point was part of what Dory was saying was what I learned from John Hope Bryant. And it was talk without giving offense, listen without being defensive, and leave even your enemy with their dignity intact.
That's one to chew on, meditate, practice.
Facts.
All right, what's our next one?
All right, so the next one was you got to learn how to communicate.
This was our biggest one, though.
Yeah,
this was our biggest one
because the first 6 years we were not communicating,
and we're two passionate people.
Oh, and to answer your question, Nesby, where was y'all at when I was making bad choices in my relationship?
Probably making.
We was making bad choices too.
Trying to learn something. For real.
That's just what it is. We was making them bad choices too.
Because that was our biggest thing. Like every time, if you was to ask us, like every year, we were like, "What we gonna work on? Communication. What we gonna work on?"
Every single year.
But you know what? And even now, what we gonna work on? Communication. Because and I think that's a good point. This is an added point. This is like a part B. Is that learning that you? Oh, I think you already said this. That you never arrive. Like that there's never like
growth
a destination.
Is constant.
Yeah, the growth is constant. So if you ever get to a point where you feel like I got this, then
you ain't there.
You ain't there. You gonna miss the whole boat because you have to always
really.
You have to always be constantly willing to grow. And communication is very uncomfortable, and I feel like that's where I'm at now. Is I'm learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because if you always comfortable, you're not growing whatsoever. So learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable is where you have to be at. And communication is uncomfortable because it forces you to, for one, shut up, listen to the other person. And this is a new term that I learned today too, watching that video. Learning how to take the psychological punch. I didn't know it was a term for it. But basically what I'm saying is learning how to be quiet and listen to the other person's point of view, even if it's like negative about you. Like, and really just being able to listen.
Without being defensive.
And just being able to take it. And then, you know, move forward with what you're talking about, or what the question is, or what, you know, what the discussion is.
So communication is, man.
And it takes practice. It takes practice.
Practice makes perfect, though.
Yeah.
Not flawless. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You didn't put my little thing, you know. So yeah, that communication, got to do it. You got to do it.
This little girl.
Do you have a communication trick or tip or anything?
Listen.
Yeah. What about in heightened situations? I think one of the other things too is learning, learning how to breathe in that moment. Like if it's heated, then that we can have a moment to like.
I read something that said the more intense or angry or I don't know another word for it, but the more intense your partner is, the more calm and relaxed you should be.
Oh wow! So you mean matching that balance? That makes sense.
Like y'all never should both be up here. One
should be trying to balance it.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That takes practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next one? I need to stop. I need to let my phone not lock. So I think it's number 10. Number 10 is, oh, my bad. Oh, hold on. That's one thing I'm horrible at. I don't know if bruh knows or not, but I hide my whole transition. Hold on. I hid my whole transition. I only from my significant other, but from my family as well. So when I started making changes, it was a shock to everybody. What's your advice for someone like me? As far as, I think I'm trying to understand the question. Something. What? Communication.
Communication.
I mean, you like at this point, you just have to pull off the Band-Aid for real, and you just have to you have to get it out there. I mean, I think the most important part of communication. The most important part of something significant like this is that you, because this is more on you as far as the transition. This is more for you than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I think the important part of this whole transition that you're going through is to be able to openly express yourself, because this is and stand in your truth. And if anybody doesn't agree with your truth, if anybody doesn't accept your truth, then that's their loss. And you have to learn how to say that I don't want to say that you're okay with it, but you have to understand that that's their choice.
Yeah.
Because love is a choice. It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's a choice. So you have to be able to stand firm in what you're choosing for yourself. Because you also have to love. Your first responsibility is to love yourself. Yep. You can't love anybody else without first loving yourself.
Yep.
So
I would just add, this is probably another layer to it, and this is going to just kind of go into tomorrow when I'm going to be teaching on. But so here's the thing, like, number one thing is being rooted and grounded in you, and being grounded in something greater than you, God, whoever that is for you. But basically being grounded in that to where you're not moved or shooken by the choices of anybody else. You get what I'm saying? Because you're whole within yourself. So we all have trigger spots. We all have wounds. We all have like different things that goes on within our souls that not only just the adversary, but just people and trauma and different things it creates, and it leaves us open to be hurt, and it leaves us in positions to basically be exposed. It's a wound. I mean, if you can imagine being stabbed or being cut, or, you know, even after having the surgery, those wounds, you have to protect those wounds until they heal. And then once they heal, yeah, you got the scar there. You get what I'm saying? But it's not, if someone touches it, it doesn't affect you no more because it's healed. And that's the process that we be having to go through, so that when people's choices and people's decisions and people's comments and everything else is not an effect to us, because we're already healed those areas. So my advice too is to be in a position where you go through and you find out, what are those triggers? What are those wounds? What is it that make you feel like you can't communicate effectively?
And really, you were doing just that when you hid your whole transition, because you knew, whether you knew exactly what was going to happen, or you just had a feeling, or that you were scared, you knew that they weren't going to treat your wounds with the care that you needed. So, I mean, you have to protect that during your process, because otherwise they'll make what for you healing was supposed to be a joyous occasion and a healing process and a transitioning to the real you, until something that was grievous. And now that you look at those scars, well, I'm not saying now that but you would have looked at those scars as a burden instead of a celebration.
Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, like, single, being by yourself, listen,
it's the best place.
It's the best place to be. I'm telling you, because it gives you an opportunity to get these things in order, and it gives you the opportunity to go ahead and get these things mended,
to love yourself,
to learn
yourself,
yes, all of these things, to learn God, to be so in love. Because here's the thing, when you get to a place where you so in love with you and you recognize you and you know you can spot like that when somebody ain't for you, and you ain't gonna fall for the foolishness, and you don't have no open spots where anybody can come in and do anything that's contrary to where you at. So single, if you're single on here right now, take this opportunity to enjoy it. We just had this conversation earlier. Like, if we had some different forces when we first came together that was kind of like, I want to say pushing us to get married, but it was a little bit of a pressure there. Not saying that we wouldn't have got married, but we would have waited a little longer. That makes sense. And a waiting wasn't because we didn't want to do it. It was because we were still learning a lot of ourselves. Mm-hmm. So maybe that year or two that we probably would have waited, there was some things that we had to go through within each other that we probably wouldn't have had to went through had we just had that time.
Been a lot smoother.
Yeah, it would have been a lot smoother. So, yes.
No regrets
at all. Because it's all wisdom now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, cover them spots. And it's cool you have to go through that process of learning what those are.
Yes, exactly. Learn yourself, get to know you, and learn to love yourself. Learn what love is for yourself.
And what that looks like for you. Mm-hmm. Because what will happen is When you learn you and you learn the things that make you happy, what you look for, what you want, that person will come and you'll be able to recognize it. And then because you are you, they will be able to appreciate and recognize you.
You'll see it in each other.
You'll find it
It's a
within
mirror.
each other. Yeah, it'll be, yeah, it's a mirror.
Because you'll see that person helps you complete your purpose.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll preach. That'll preach. That person that help you complete your purpose. That's what the help meet is.
Yeah.
Alright. So what's his number 10?
I don't know.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Number 10 is ask for what you want as well as what your partner wants from you. And this is kind of it's kind of like restated.
You better.
And it's like a lot of these things are mirroring each other and what they're saying, because this is a part of communication. This is a part of love language. This is a part of making time for yourself, all that. Because I think a lot of times in relationships in general, whether they be friendships, whether they be marriages, intimate relationships with parents and children, a lot of the times we don't, as people, state what we want. We expect for the other person to know what we want, how we want it, when we want it, whatever may happen.
We expect our partners to be mind readers.
Yeah.
And just because we've been together 11 years, he still don't know how to read my mind.
But I don't know though. I could guess, and it may be right, it may be wrong. But you have to. That's part of the communication. You have to state what you want. And you also have to make the effort to see what it is your partner wants from you.
Yeah.
There's this it's a Buddhist. His name's Thich Nhat Hanh, and he talks about different forms of meditation. And one of those forms of meditation is looking your partner in the eye, sitting with them, and asking of them what they need from you. And really, Nailani? We're not wild. No.
She's on 10, y'all. On 10.
That's mean it's really bedtime for her. Like it's
she's
really,
so sleepy.
She ain't used to being up this late. But yeah, stating what they need from you. And yeah, I think that's major, is being able to ask for what you want and being able to offer the space for your partner to tell you what they want, or your friend, or your child, or your parent, or any type of relationship. This go to work, co-worker relationship, boss supervisor relationship, all of that. Ask for what you want and request that the person on the other end tell you what they need. So yeah. You got anything else on that, babe?
It's a selfless act. Like you have to begin to be selfless with it.
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but she said it's a selfless act. You have to begin to be selfless with this. And I think that's the balance of relationships, is knowing how to be selfish and selfless and balance that. Because as we stated before, you also have to make time for yourself. We're individual with individual needs. So that balance between selfishness and selflessness, and identifying that neither one is negative or positive.
Yeah. Because I mean, here you go, Mama. I mean, to ask the other person what they need, that takes a level of maturity too. You know what I mean? Where is she going? I don't know. She's doing her own thing right now. We just gonna let her be. But yeah, it's almost that takes a level of maturity to ask somebody what they need. because you got to be ready for what comes on the,
Right.
on the other end, because it could be something that will require you to have to then go on back into the corner and do evaluations on where you're at and what that means for everybody else, which is that constant growth thing and that focus. You know what I'm saying? That focusing on you and not the other person involved with it too as well.
Yep.
Because it's basically kind of like how I always am saying, locate yourself. Be able to see where you are, and you know, just be able to evaluate.
Yo, facts. And last but certainly not least, it's number 11 of 11. Is it's not easy, but it is rewarding. When you are in it with the right person, that is the perfect helpmeet. All right. Let me read this comment real quick. I feel like y'all are just letting me know that I have a lot of work to do on myself, and that's the crazy part. All of us do. I was just saying, like, it's 11 years, and I still can identify more and more stuff that I need to and I want to work on. That whole love, listening, understanding, and validating. That's like going into this next chapter. That's all me. That's what I'm working on. Listening, understanding, and validating. So we all do. We all got work to do, and it's always a continual. I mean, we're always evolving. If anybody was there, they would have been ascended, I guess. I don't know. Like, what Jesus saying? None good but the Father. Basically, like, I'm never to the point where I'm the perfect dad, the flawless dad, the flawless husband, the flawless son. I'm never gonna be flawless. I'm always gonna have flaws. I'm gonna have something that I'm working to perfect. And I am the perfect father because I'm working towards those things. Right. And I know that I'm not flawless. I am the perfect husband because I'm working to be that. I'm not. I understand that I have flaws, and I understand that I'm constantly going to be working on those. So I'm perfecting the purpose of being a husband. I'm perfecting the purpose of being a father, a son, a coworker, a friend. That's just what it is. Yep. I mean, you have to begin to develop the mindset of there's no arrival point. Like there is no arrival point in any of this. The Proverbs say the man who, how it goes, the man who knows he knows nothing, or the man who thinks he knows everything knows nothing at all. I think is how it goes, something like that along those lines. But it's basically just trying to say that the person who feels like they got it all or have all the knowledge or got it all together is the person who really they know nothing. And it's just those the people who, and I mean, it's just like Jesus that has that humble and the meek spirit to know that I'm always growing, that I always have something to work on, that I'm always, in a position to be taught something. Those are the people who, tend to excel and get more out of this life, because you're not always in a mode to, I don't want to say talk, or you know what I mean? Like, you're just always in a mode to receive. That's really what it is. Like, you're in a mode to always receive because you're always looking for something to teach you. You're always in that mode. All right. But the last point was that it's not easy, but it is rewarding. And I think we know by the rate of divorce in the United States, the rate of the amount of failed marriages that we see on the day-to-day, the amount of empty homes or separated homes, split families. We know how hard it is, but a lot of times we don't get to see the rewards. This is one of the rewards. It's us making it 11 years, still loving each other, still best friends, still able to see that there's a lot of growing that each of us have to do, and us both being okay with that. Yeah. So 11 years.
11 years down.
On the 24th. The 24th. The Lord.
Wow. Still can't believe it. It still don't seem like that long.
So I've stated clearly what I think I'm going to be working on. Well, no, not what I think, what I know that I'm going to be working on this next chapter. What about you? What do you think you're going to be? What do you see in yourself that you want to grow?
I'm basically in the same vein as you. I mean, listening, understanding, validating. And I'm just in a place of constantly pruning myself, just constantly, allowing myself to learn and to grow, learning how to give myself grace. I think that's a practice that most people need to go through. Just learning how to be kind to yourself and give yourself grace in the moments that you need it, because we're all learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all you got to say about that? So you got to say about that?
Well, y'all, it's been real.
Are we done?
Yeah, wasn't that 11?
Yeah, it was 11. I thought we was going to keep on talking. I don't know. I was having fun.
I was too, but Nailani is sleepy. And
y'all see my painting? That's my painting. I did that.
There you go.
I'm about to make another piece, so if y'all want it, catch me on eBay.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch y'all next time. Ready?
With all we got this cold video. Look, watch this video.
See y'all next time.
It's coming.